guys, I thought that I would show you a little bit about my magazine journals that I've been making. I've been doing these with just random catalogs that I get in the mail that I would just throw out. They're already bound for me with staples, so I just cut them up using a safety blade and a ruler and cut them into irregular shapes. And then I really challenged myself to use trash, things that I would throw away instead of good stuff. But this is just kind of a practice for me to play with different techniques and different things. As you can probably tell, the background of these pages here are a safety envelope. So junk mail, essentially. And then a lot of this came from junk mail or magazines. These are stamps that I have, but everything else was basically junk mail or stamps. And then this was around an envelope seal that I got with one of my Dollar Tree cards, and I thought, well, that's a pretty perfect circle. I'm going to use that. So as you can see, I haven't done much more in here, but I just kind of put down scraps, and I thought I would share this with you so that you could maybe play with this idea and maybe challenge yourself to play with techniques in a low stakes environment, so that you're not feeling like, oh, I have to be precious with this. This is something I can literally toss out if I want to, or I can tear it apart and use it in larger collages, or can use it in master boards later. But essentially, like I said, you just take whatever you have. If you have a magazine, or like this is a Sam's Club from last year. I keep almost everything. A catalog. I just used a safety blade and put down my ruler and trimmed it until it was trimmed all the way through. And now I have a free journal. All I have to do is decorate the pages, and I can paint them or whatever I want to do. And I did brace a lot of these pages because my staple was right here. And I had a lot that would go wobbly since I cut it. These pages are really thin, so I wouldn't do a lot of watercolor in something like this, or watery mediums, but playing with paper, pasting paper on paper, with this cheap paper, you really get a good idea of some techniques. And you can see here I put some gesso down. I just use the things that I have laying around, and I kind of challenge myself to do a spread that ends up being interesting or meaningful in some way. I think I cut this out of a magazine. So play with some of your, especially if you have scraps of things just laying around. I always have scraps of stuff just kind of laying around. Challenge yourself to figure out how you can use these things and do it in a low stakes way that helps kind of stretch you creatively. Hope that's a fun tip for you to play with.